Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. And I'm going to be bringing you a card that I think is quite unique because I'm using pretty much just one die to make this entire card. This card features the new beautiful die that I designed for the Simon Says Stamp Hello Beautiful release. And this die is a really large die. It's going to fit on a slimline card beautifully. And it also works well on regular cards too. However, I wanted to be able to utilize it on a slimline card. And I'm going to not only use it as the sentiment, but I'm also going to use it to make my background. This is a really unique way to use this die, but you could also do this exact same technique with any other word dies you have. So let's jump in. I am currently right now cutting a whole bunch of these beautiful die cuts from some cardstock. I'm using a variety of Simon Says Stamp, Lawn Fawn, and Gina K cardstocks here. My plan is to die cut just one out of every color. I don't need these sentiments to be dimensional. These are going to help me create an entire background. I used a whole rainbow of colors and picked and choose from mostly scraps that I had in my scrap bin. So this is another great tip for creating cards like this. It allows you to be able to use your scraps up because I have a lot on hand and I like being able to break into that stash as much as possible. So now that I've die cut all of my different beautiful words, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down onto my slimline card. This is 3.5 by 8.5 inch. And it's already folded. And I'm going to start gluing these down with liquid glue at an angle. I want these to create a really unique striped background where the word beautiful is creating the stripes, but it's also helping to continue the sentiment that will end up being on the front of the card. I'm going to glue these down in somewhat of a rainbow order, though I am taking a little bit of liberty in being able to adjust the colors here and there to help make it the way I want it to look. And you don't have to do this in a rainbow. You could do this in a beautiful ombre of colors. Maybe you wanted to use just a specific color. Whatever you want to do, have fun with it. Use the die cut to create the texture and the background for your card. The glue I'm using is Gina K Designs Connect Glue. And it's a great liquid glue. It comes out nice and evenly. It has a nice fine point. And I'm also being careful to just add little dots of adhesive on the back of these die cuts because I don't want to add too much where the glue ends up squishing out the sides. These are slightly delicate, so there's not a lot of room for a lot of adhesive. Also, as I adhere my die cuts down, after gluing each one, I am coming along with my scissors and chopping off all the excess that's hanging off the end of the card. So we're just about done assembling our beautiful die cuts across this card, and I'm going to start adding some additional die cuts. Again, using the beautiful die, I'm going to cut it from some holographic cardstock. This is from Simon Says Stamp. Not only do I love holographic cardstock, but it's just beautiful and it looks great on top of this rainbow of colors. There is also a shadow die that's part of this beautiful die set, and I cut that along with a couple other beautiful die cuts from some white cardstock. I'm going to stack the beautiful die cuts on top of each other. There's 2 of them here made from white cardstock, and this is going to get glued behind my holographic beautiful die cut. This will give the greeting a little bit of dimension, and this is not what I did for the background. Again, remember that the background is just a bunch of single layer die cuts, so there's no dimension for the background itself. So my beautiful will line up perfectly on top of the outline shadow layer, and I also made sure to remember to add the little dot over top of the eye. I'm going to glue my sentiment down onto my card right in the center with some foam tape. I really love how this holographic cardstock pairs with these colorful beautifuls in the background. For a sentiment, I pulled out these Simon Says Stamp sentiment strips. This is a birthday theme, and after I cut my sentiment strip out, I did run across the edges of the paper with a black marker to hide the white core. I'll pop this up with foam tape also. I'm finishing things up by adding a few sequins. These happen to be the holographic rainbow sequin mix from Simon Says Stamp, but you could use whatever sequins you have already on hand. I really like this mix because it's really colorful and it paired nicely with the colors that I have on my card. And I'm just going to glue these down with glossy accents. I had so much fun making this card. I ended up making a second because I love it, and I think it would be great for sending as a birthday card. These also go great with the Simon Says stamp slimline envelopes, which is what I'll be mailing these cards in as well. I particularly like the teal color. Now, before I go, I do want to mention that this particular die is a free gift with purchase right now over at Simon Says Stamp to celebrate National Craft Month. If you didn't know, National Craft Month happens to be the entire month of March. And what better way to celebrate our crafting than have an entire month dedicated to it? So if you'd like to be able to get this die with your purchase at Simon Says Stamp for a limited time only, be sure to use the code that I have on screen or down in the video description and over at my blog. You can get more details there, and I also have still pictures of the card so you can check it out in full detail. I hope that you were inspired by today's project and that you'll try out this technique. Maybe you don't have the beautiful die, or if you do, one way or the other, I hope you'll try out the idea of using your dies to create a background, because it's a really fun way to be able to use your dies in a unique way. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will be back soon with additional inspiration for you. But until next time, I hope you have a very wonderful day. Bye!